What about road rage? The driver can't get their own way, there are roadworks, and they get angry about it as they have to follow a diversion and it takes 7 minutes longer. Or every traffic light is at red and they get angry because lots of things on the road seem to be against them. Or someone cuts in front of them and they get mad. This impatience or just complete selfishness can cause road rage or anger. Or in a shop, in the queue or the line, the till breaks down, the cashier is a trainee and has to call a supervisor. You have too many goods on the belt to change to another, and you start sighing. Oh, heavy sighs of impatience and anger. Number 2, another root is difficult circumstances in the past or in the present. Anger is an emotion which grows out of dwelling on thoughts which say, this is not going my way. Perhaps an illness that has changed an active life, or a responsibility of looking after someone, a spouse, a parent, a child. These can cause a resentment in us, which then can grow into a full-blown anger deep down inside. Perhaps in the past, bitterness and resentment entered our lives through various events in our upbringing, maybe abuse or ill treatment, perhaps ridicule or rejection by someone you loved, or betrayal, abandonment, being let down, or being treated like a doormat, with your rights violated, just being used physically or in another way. Your faith in others was shattered. Another root, number 3, is grief. Most people have suffered loss at some time, whether it is losing a child, a baby, a spouse, a friend, or a parent. Very often after a great loss, a person will grieve, then become angry, then sad and depressed, then comes negotiating or thinking through the situation until understanding and acceptance is reached at long last. If this process is not worked through, grief, anger, and bitterness can persist for years. This can have a devastating effect on that person's life, which may well be expressed in angry outbursts. Other roots. People say they inherited their wild temper from their father, or their mother, or their granddad. It's in the family genes. This can be true, but it can also be an excuse, as we've mentioned before. Anger destroys. Louis L'Amour said, and I quote, "Anger is a killing thing. It kills the man who angers, for each rage leaves him less than he had been before. It takes something from him." A person who cannot control their temper can ultimately lose everything she or he holds dear. Imagine a man, or you can imagine a woman, whatever, who is angry. He comes home from work, shouts, raves, even hits or beats his partner and children. Next day, he apologizes with gifts for the partner and toys for the child. This behavior is destroying him, or if it's a woman, destroying her. That person could well lose their family and even their job and destroy their own life if they don't manage their anger. Anger that destructively erupts onto another person can have a dreadful effect. In fact, 1 fit of anger can destroy your whole life as well as the other person's. Think about it. This is a true story of a young man. We will call him Andy, who is now in prison because he lost his temper. Andy was a loner. He had no girlfriends, lived alone in a nice flat left to him by his grandmother. He was not materialistic and was quite content. Then he met a girl and fell head over heels in love with her. He couldn't see that she was very manipulative. One evening, she sent him a text to come over, and off he went. However, when he got there, she said that the text was meant for another boyfriend, and he got so upset and angry, and he stabbed her and injured her. He is now serving a 3-year prison sentence. He was shocked and devastated that he had even done this, and so were his mum and dad. Through that one fit of anger, he lost his job, his freedom, his good life, and he went into a deep depression.